Good morning, everyone. How are y'all? Let me just adjust this a bit. So happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Um, yeah, kind of an impromptu live sketch this morning. Kind of more in my series of how I cartoon things and my approach to it. And also wanted to talk openly about the ups and downs of um, being creative, being a creative person. Everybody deals with things differently, and kind of the mental impact of it. Um, which at 50 years old this year, the last couple of years has been just kind of embracing that artistic up and down side of my own personality. So we'll sketch some stuff here, and if you have questions, please chime in. I think the conversation started about the ups and downs in my head a while ago, and how I deal with it every couple of months. That there's those up and down um, emotions of feeling like a um, fake or phony or not good enough or all of that. So and how I kind of deal with that, and how other people deal with it. Um, but today we'll start. I found this picture here um, on the internet this morning of a Dodge Power wagon, which is one of my favorite uh, vehicles of all time, and they make great cartoons. So I found another one over here to kind of get the side proportions, and so we'll talk about anything that comes to mind, and I'll go through how I cartoon this. And again, looking at the different elements that are going to be fun, and what I'm going to change. Anybody who follows my style, I have a really cartoony style for vehicles. So I'm gonna make this greenhouse area the windows. Um, this part here. Let's see if I get a bigger pen here. This part, I'm going to extend it way up here, and we've got cool headlights here that if you're doing a kid's book or really want to cartoon this, you can give this, the Disney eyes thing, and big old wheels. And so, yeah, let's play with proportions. And again, when I'm cartooning any vehicle, um, all vehicles are, basically a two box design. Um, Super simple way to look at it. Um, so with this one, I'm going to start with trying to get those proportions right. Um, Down here, let's see, I'll get on this layer. And I'm just going to start with, I'm not going to make it a super long truck. I want to get a really cartoony feel. Um, so again, this body part, not the greenhouse, but the body part, I'm going to keep pretty narrow. And then the hoods on this one fairly long. So I'm going to put that greenhouse up here. And again, I'm not rounding anything right now. I'm just working with those primitive shapes. And then, yeah, we'll extend this box a little bit here and see how that is much. Um, we're avoiding something called avoiding the ladder. And I want all these proportions to be different. So the greenhouse is about twice as big as the body in height to make it more cartoony. And it's going to have these awesome fenders as well, and we'll do that. And to make this really simple, cartoony 3D, all I do is I bring over these lines here. And these trucks are pretty narrow in the middle with these big fenders, so I'm going to not make it too thick. And we're just going to add the front here. like that. We just copy these lines. And even there, I kind of want to make this much taller here. So I'm going to extend those up like that and get rid of those guidelines. And again, if you're one of my students watching this later or now, remember sketching, super, super simple. Nothing's got to be perfect right now. So for now, we'll find the middle of this front end, and we do that. Make an X in that box, and that's where the middle is, like that. So again, come back up to our reference, because even in cartooning, I always start with reference. We've got these awesome, um, awesome fenders here, back there. And the wheels are pushed way to the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this fender here like this. And again, it's just a flat fender. And this is the back of it. It goes down to that floorboard. And then this one, here's the front of that fender right here. This one's round, so I'm going to round this off eventually. So we've got that fender and then the back of the truck here. And you can make realistic wheels if you want. And to do that, you would just simply make a square. Again, find that center here. And then you would build your wheel in there. And then same thing what we did with the truck is now we can make that very simple. And that's pretty how you would make kind of more realistic tire. But I'm going for movement and cartoony, so I'm just making some ovals here. And remember, these are right to the front of the truck, these wheels. And we're just gonna sketch these in for now. And this one's kind of behind. So I'm just doing that for now. And then this one here, like that. Cool. So let's start rounding some of this off. So we've got the front of our fender here, side, and then the back. And then we've got this cool grill here. So we're going to make it like that. And it's all rounded up here like this. There's that rounded look. Then I'm going to bring this and round it like that. So we've got our round here, and then we can just, and again, we're using this reference as our inspiration. Don't have to make it perfect. And then we're going to add some big headlights. My other fenders back here. Like that. And just really cartoon that up. And we should save it because old truck demo. Put it in my 24 folder. Sweet. So again, really, really simple. And there's just like drawing a head. We put that center line like that. And we can even round this off a bit more while we're playing. And we'll put that big, beefy, I'm going to simplify it. I'm not going to put this hole in it. I'm just going to simplify it more like this one. A big old fender. So we've got the front of it here, and then the side where it wraps. Again, very simple, primitive shapes. There's that. And the top of these cabs are much more rounded than a modern truck. So gonna have some fun with that. Almost kind of give it a baseball cap look. We're gonna like that. Again, extend this line over like that. And then this, maybe we're gonna round that line a bit where it meets the body. Cool. And then the windows we can round a bit here. This. And again, the reason why I make this big greenhouse is so when I do my cartoon character, if I have a driver, I can see more of that character. He's not squished into this little space, but has much more freedom in here to be seen. Cool. All right. And we could do the center line on these old trucks, and I'll round that a bit. And I'm gonna round that, round that. Cool. And again, we're using these as inspiration, not drawing them on model to look exact. So I'm gonna add the little dimension to these here, like this. So again, one of the things that, I wanted to discuss was how I get out of my ruts, um, and trying to. And part of me, I don't like the. I grew up in the '80s. I'm Gen X, born in the '70s, and from the generation that was, if you're hurt or sad, rub some dirt on it, which is by far not the right approach. Um, but I still struggle with that mentality of, oh, I can't be sad. I can't be, you know, uninspired. I have work to do. I just have to push through everything. And it just, as I get older, it just doesn't work that way. And so the term being gentle with yourself does apply. Um, and as much as I fight that, oops, um, do this, sorry. As much as I fight with that statement, I have learned to be slightly more gentle with myself, which is merge those layers. So January and February were incredibly productive months for me. Not money wise, but just productive and creating a lot of art, learning some new things, getting some really big illustrations done, and being very happy with my production. And again, if you've watched my car videos or when I draw things, I love movement. So I never draw things on the ground if I'm showing movement. So this truck is going to be here, and I'm just sketching those fun lines. Nothing's with a ruler. And then on the other side, we'll do that. So I had an incredibly productive, and I was happy with my productivity for the last couple of months since the new year, which kind of was surprising. Um, and The last few days, probably week, my inspiration has been down. And normally I'd really beat myself up, and I still do to a point. I'm lazy, I'm not getting enough done, and all those trappings that we go through. Um, and I've been really trying to work on doing other things, being, take care of some of the business side of things, resumes and portfolio stuff, just to keep the gears going, the motors going forward, but not worrying about the productivity of my things because you do run out of juice. You need to recharge. And this week, last week, I have definitely been in recharge mode, and that's okay. It's hard for me to get to the point of being okay with that, and part of my process and my own therapy with it is doing some of these videos and trying different things. I had a wonderful day the other day, just you know, being you know, creative with Legos. Legos are a huge outlet for creativity and therapy. I can still be creative, and my mind has to work in a different way. And I know if there's no money involved, there's no well, unless I'm buying them. I'm not doing anything to earn money, so it gets me out of that rut a little bit. Um, so that's kind of where I am with that, process. And sometimes I'll sculpt, sometimes I'll paint, get back to traditional media, just something to keep some creative juices flowing. Because if I'm not being creative, I'm truly not happy. If I'm not creating something, I'm not happy. So I have to be creating something, but it doesn't always have to be art for money um, uh, or trying to improve or something like that. Um, so that's where I'm with that discussion, and I would love whether you watch this video now or later, and I would love to see where other creatives are or non-creatives. Um, if you're not a creative person, how do you stay focused on your work? Um, I'd love to know. So yeah, just hit me up with questions or anything that you want regarding that. Um, I'd love to hear from you. So back to our truck sketch again. Um, this fender I want a bit more rounded, like this. So this part is round now. We'll clean this up a bit and a few like that. I'm not using any real big straight lines. Um, let's see. Portions seem a little bit off to me, but again, not fighting this one too much today. Just again, just for the discussion, I'm going to find that center line and want to make this hood a bit more curvy like this. Do. Let's see, do I like that? Yeah, it's a little bit tougher looking. So now draw our grill up here. And I'll go back and I'll tighten this up and maybe add some studs to the tire, just keeping it really cartoony and really simple. Not doing this for anything but a sketching exercise and to kind of show you all how I approach my sketching and my drawings. So, next week, however, I will be posting a little bit more tutorial. Um, one of the things I teach in my live classes is when I do a illustration for a customer or something I want to sell or um, product based, my illustrations are always based in story first. I need a story. I come up with a story, and it helps my illustrations so much when I have a story. So we'll be jumping into that. We'll have some examples of that, and that will be kind of my next more serious cartooning class or illustration class will be based on using story to drive our illustrations. Even if you're doing an illustration for fun, not, you know, not necessarily for a customer, just something that you want to draw and illustrate how story and story driven um, illustration is important and can help your illustrations completely. So not bad proportions, not great. Again, just a fun sketch. I'll probably rework this a few times and see what I like and what I don't like, but keeping my hands busy and my mind busy for today. So let's see if we can come up with a driver here. But again, if you have your own way of beating the blues, creative blues, or just blues in general, please let me know. Love to hear from all of you, and we'll continue these discussions as well in between classes and tutorials. Creatives really are a different breed, but we can all learn from each other. So with this character, same thing as the truck. I'm going to try to keep the proportions stocky and thick, kind of a tough looking truck. I'm going to give our character a pretty broad nose, small eyes, thicker head here. And let's see. This back here, maybe we'll give this character a goatee, like this. And of course, maybe a baseball cap. It's coming off the ranch or the construction site. Thick brows, keep everything thick. Boo-doo-doo. Beep, beep, beep. That. And let's see the back of them here. And we'll give them a work shirt here. Maybe plaid. Beep, beep, beep. Like that. And his arm maybe is out the window like this, relaxing. So again, with this big greenhouse here, we get to see more of our character. So here's our first sketch of it, and I'll spend a few more minutes here on a different layer, and we'll just clean it up a bit when we finish our discussion. And this will probably be a 30-minute video today. And again, this was more just getting cobwebs out, opening up some discussion for future videos. See where everybody lies on some fun topics and not so fun topics. And let's see how that. There's the side of that, and then the back. And then this big light, back of the light. That. And there's the front here. Oops. And then this side. And again, super fun. Keep your shapes as fun and loose as you can. That's where the truck bed is. Truck bed will be rounded as well. And we've got our big fender here. The back of it there. Big old bumper. And then this footboard here, the door. That's where the cab meets. Maybe a logo or something there. And then the grill and the bumper. That's the side. And then we'll fill these wheels in here. Transmission or the four-wheel drive comes in here. And then the other wheel. And again, don't, knowing the rules on how to make the tires 3D and look more realistic is something we all need to know, but don't stress too much about it. Have some fun with it. Like that. Just doing a quick one here. Add some the drive shaft goes to the rear wheels. Rotate, shade that back tire in. And then this tire, we'll do the same thing. A little bit deeper of a rim here. Boop, boop. Cartoony studded tires here. Boop. And then, let's see, we will put the grill in here. That. And then he's trucking away down the road. We can put some movement lines if we want. Cartoon it up. And then, let's see, we need a name for our character here. Go with the old reliable. Simple name like Joe or Mac. Driving his big wheeled truck down the road. We'll have him happy and content. Hat here. Again, wasn't really spending too much time on the character design here. I just wanted to kind of matches his truck here. And that's the other side of his shirt. Boop, boop. Steering wheel. Plaid work shirt. Cool. So we have our inspiration from these two trucks at the top, and then we did our sketch, and we can clean it up a bit like this. And we've got our wheels here. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. Cool. And that. And we can have some boxes or crates in the back here. He's hauling. nifty. Cool. And I do like the windshield wipers that come down from the top here. Of course, they wouldn't clean much of the windshield, but so yeah, now we can have the hood here. And again, super, cartoony sketch of Joe and his truck here. Sweet. So again, if you have any questions or want to continue the discussion, you can follow my links that are all over my pages here on Facebook or YouTube. Let's make sure didn't miss any messages here. Let's see. I think we're good. Well, yeah. That should be good for now. About a half hour. So yeah, I will post my next live where I get into a little bit more in detail about story next week and how I use story to drive my illustrations. I'll have some examples for that. And I'll give everybody a few days notice on when that video will be. So if you stop by, thank you. And yeah, I hope some of the discussion about the ups and downs and the blahs of being a creative and getting through that process maybe spark some questions or helped or yeah, just made somebody think or question some things. So again, thank you very much for stopping by. It helps me immensely to do these and get that interaction with you all. And we will talk to you guys next time. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. And there's our truck, Joe. Have a good day, guys.